In this video, I'm going to walk you through the lures that are in the new summer bundle. If you like catching redfish, sea trout, snook, and flounder, and you plan to fish the summer, you need to watch this video. These 4 lures have been the best of the best for summertime fishing, and most importantly, is we've streamlined it to make sure that you get the most bang for your buck. Each of these lures have their specific time when they're best, and if you have these lures, there will be no time during the summer months where you're not going to be able to catch fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one, talk about when they're at their best, so that you can easily know exactly which lure to use to maximize your results at any given time. First, let me explain why we have a mix of hard lures and soft plastics. So these hard lures, these are what's going to be best when the fish are more aggressive. During the summertime periods, basically the twilights are going to be when they're most aggressive most days, right? The sunrise or sunset. We need to be maximizing water coverage. During these times, whoever covers the most water is going to catch the most fish. This is really when lures can outfish live bait by very large margins. And these 2 plugs both cast an absolute mile and have very fast retrieves that generate strikes. But there's always going to be times when the fish aren't quite as aggressive. That's when soft plastics are very hard to beat. And these particular 2 that I'm going to go over are specialized to make sure you can get water coverage of different depths while being weedless anywhere from 10 inches all the way down to 10 feet. If you can stay weedless, you're going to have a huge advantage to those who can't. So let's go ahead and just get started as far as the most aggressive to least aggressive. We're going to go in that order. So most aggressive, that's when topwater. Not only is it fun, it's absolutely amazing to get topwater strikes, it's also very productive. These lures cast a mile. This one in particular has a very good walk the dog motion. It's super easy to generate. It has the inline hooks, which just helps it glide more easily in the water. You're going to get more strikes than you will with trebles. And so this is an obvious choice if you're fishing twilights or at night up in shallow water. That's when a lot of fish will go up to feed. One of the best things about inshore saltwater fishing is that a lot of the biggest fish feed up in the shallows. And again, during the twilights or at night, lures like this can catch a lot of great fish, even in water that's 12 inches or less. And the fact that you can actually see fish responding to them, it makes these the ultimate search lures. When the fish are aggressive, this is definitely one to go with. It's the Moonwalker. This thing is awesome. But there's going to be situations when the fish aren't quite aggressive enough to hit at the surface. That's when the skinny lipper comes into play. This thing casts an absolute mile. It has that weight shift technology. When you cast, the weight, the big knocker weight goes back so that it literally will cast a mile. It actually outcasts the Moonwalker. And it has this lip. Once it does settle down, the weight goes back into place. And once you start retrieving it, this lip is going to catch the water slightly. So it has great darting motion under the water that triggers strikes from fish that aren't quite aggressive enough to hit topwater. First of all, it gets down under the surface, which is a pro when fish aren't aggressive for topwater. But most importantly, it has that strike generating retrieve. It's basically a blend between a topwater plug and a soft plastic jerkbait. It casts as far or even farther than a topwater, but it has a nice subsurface retrieve similar to a soft plastic jerkbait. So what I've been doing personally and from feedback from members is topwater first, right? Moonwalker first, and once the topwater bite starts slowing down, pull out the skinny lipper, and that's going to extend that bite. And again, this covers a lot of water. If you're on a boat and everybody else is throwing soft plastics and you're throwing this lure, you are absolutely going to outfish those individuals as long as the fish are at least somewhat aggressive. So now you're probably wondering, okay, what do I do when the fish aren't quite as aggressive? And that's when soft plastics come into play. These lures just flat out get strikes. The only reason why I don't start with these now is simply because of the water coverage that I get from the hard lures. But when fishing during summer months, I always carry these 2 options because during the middle of the day especially, the fish are almost always going to get less aggressive. So we have to go slower and we have to go subsurface and we need to be weedless. That is crucial. During the summer months when it gets hot, we're going to need to be able to rig our lures for the shallows weedless and also for deeper water weedless, because what these fish will do is they're going to push up under some shade. They're going to be holding very tight to structure. They're not going to chase down a topwater lure, but if you get a nice looking lure on the bottom in front of their face, they're going to eat it. And given that most of the redfish, sea trout, snook, and the flounder, they're going to be holding close to structure, we need to get down in their face and we need to be weedless so we don't get snagged on the structure. We want to be spend our time hooked up on fish, not to structure. So we'll start with the Mulligan. This is the 4-inch paddletail. It's designed to have maximum casting distance. This lure has dimples like a golf ball to both skip great and have just very good casting distance. And best of all, these can be rigged on weedless options for both shallow water and deep water. This is my favorite for the shallows. It's the Haas Helix hook. This combination skips like a dream up in our mangroves or up on our docks. It is awesome for both skipping and getting under the shade, and also covering shallow water zones with structure like oysters. This thing is awesome. Or it can be rigged on the Haas weedless round eye to cover the deeper water. So when I'm seeing bait fish in the area, this is the easy choice, right? If the fish aren't quite aggressive, especially during the middle of the day when the sun's up, I automatically go to the Mulligan. This is a 4-inch lure. That's generally the size of bait fish for most of the summer. So during the summer season, you're gonna get more action with this lure. It simply casts farther and skips better to the smaller paddle tails. And also it does a better job of matching the hatch. There are also gonna be times when the fish are just flat out feeding on crustaceans. During many summer outgoing tides, a lot of shrimp are flushing out, and the fish can absolutely be dialed into shrimp. So if you don't have a good shrimp lure, you need to get one. And this Prawn Jr. has been the best producer that we found to date. Just like the other paddle tail, it can be rigged for the deeper water with this exact rigging, very weedless. And it also can be rigged on the same Haas Helix hook, so you can again get the most bang for your buck, where you get 1 pack of the Mulligans, 1 pack of the Prawn Juniors, and then a pack of each of the riggings, so you can be ready for everything, whether they're going after bait fish or they're going after shrimp, whether they're shallow or they're deep. You're going to be covered either way with a limited amount of equipment that you need to buy. So if you want to keep your tackle bag as small as possible while catching as many fish as possible, make sure to get these lures. Best of all, we have a bundle for these. So now you can get these lures with just 1 click, and you're going to save money by using the bundle. I'll put a link down below. In case you're new to us at Salt Strong, we're a fishing club. We're not a traditional tackle company, so we guarantee that these lures are going to work. So take us up on the challenge. If you get these lures and you somehow don't feel that you're catching more fish than you were before, just let us know and you can get a full refund. We have over 50,000 members spanning from Texas all the way up north of Virginia, and these lures have been the most popular across the board. They flat out work. We know you're gonna like them. These lures are only available at fishstrong.com. Inside our club members, you save 20% off them all. We'll put a link to the bundle that includes, again, 1 of each of these Topwaters. And as far as soft plastics, you're gonna get a pack, a 7-pack of the Prawn Juniors, plus a 7-pack of the Mulligan, and you're gonna have a 3-pack of each rigging. So the Haas Helix hook for the shallow water 3-pack, and the Haas weedless round eye 3-pack. And in case you haven't used this type of rigging, what you'll see is that they're very easy to use. Let me just go ahead and just show you. It's super simple. You can take them on and off as shown here. And for the Haas, this is for the deeper water, right? Deeper weedless structure. Just get the lure from the tip, go straight down, and come out the underbelly about 1/2 inch down. And that's gonna pop out again the underbelly, the side with the slot. And then just simply just pull it, have the lure follow the curve of the hook. That's essentially the keeper. And then follow it until it hits the top. We wanna have as much material between the bend of the hook and the jig head as possible, so you can catch as many fish as possible. Once we have it set, we now need to put the hook through the lure at the natural point, right? So I just put the hook in the underbelly, just take a note of where the hook would naturally come out, and then just go straight down at that point. Straight down the point. This is a perfectly rigged shrimp lure. Again, this is the Prawn Jr. This thing catches everything. I've caught countless snook, redfish, sea trout on these lures. Plus I've caught my biggest triple tail ever. Triple tail love this. I've caught a ton of keeper triple tail with this lure, even cobia. There's so many fish that eat shrimp, and this lure, the fact that it looks like a lifelike shrimp, it has a great glide in the water, and it's weedless, so you can bounce through the thickest of structure and rarely ever get snagged. Those fish holding tight to structure aren't used to be targeting, so when you get this lure right in their face, they can't help but to eat it. In the other rigging, this is the Haas Helix, so this is even easier to rig. It has a screw on the top, and this is the top level screw where it's as easy as possible. It has the centering pin. So get the centering pin right in the middle of the lure, push it in, just push it straight down, and once the screw starts hitting it, then you just start twisting, right? Just twist it on, and then twist until the lure gets close to the hook, and then just make sure that the underbelly, that underbelly slot is now facing the hook, and then same as before, right? We want to put the hook point in the underbelly, take a note of where it'll naturally come out, and now we're going to have a perfectly rigged paddle tail that is super weedless. And I'm skipping up in our mangroves. We can make it even more weedless by skin hooking the tip. Right now, we can hit up against mangroves or dock pilings, or really oysters, anything for that matter, and there's literally nothing to get snagged. But then once a fish bites down and puts pressure, it's going to free up the hook, and now you got a hooked fish and not a hooked mangrove tree or oyster limb. Nothing's more frustrating than getting stuck on the bottom. So these weedless rigging options will help make sure that you prevent doing that. So again, make sure to take us up on the challenge. Try these lures out. We have them in the bundle. Obviously, you can get them a la carte as well. The bundle, you'll just save more money. So that's what we recommend doing. Plus, it's easier. So I'll put a link down below to the bundle. Try it out. Take us up on the challenge. We know you're going to love them. And if you want to try any other colors, you can select the colors as well. On that bundle page, there's a drop down. You can choose from any of our many colors. Once you complete the order, our team is going to send them out to you right away. And we can't wait to see how many great fish you catch with these lures.